Jeff, and then we'll take a question.
Team's played well this year. Certainly Joe Harris is a terrific player and probably the key to their team. I think Akeel Mitchell's also very good, a guy who's really improved through the course of his career. You know what you're going to get with Tony Bennett coach team. You're going to get great man-to-man defense, pack line defense that his dad really implemented so well at Wisconsin and Washington State. And then you're going to get a lot of motion offense. You're going to get a very disciplined team that moves the ball around and takes good shots. And they're a hard team to beat because they don't give you any easy baskets. And obviously, we struggle to score a little bit, so points will be difficult to come by.
Question?
In a nutshell, what are the goals of that pack line defense? What separates it from?
Make you take guarded shots, just not give up any anything around the basket area. So in transition, when they shoot, they send probably 2 to the boards, occasionally 3, and send at least 2 and sometimes 3 guys back in transition to set their defense so they don't get beat that way. They'd rather set their defense than worry about offensive rebounding. In some instances, I don't mean that like they don't go after offensive rebounds, because their front court guys are good athletes and do that very well. But then in the half court, it's very much position versus pressure. They're not going to pressure you as much as a Florida State or even Duke at times, but they're going to be in very good position. They don't get out of position much. Again, they protect 17 feet in. They double the post almost every time it gets in there. So they believe in making you take guarded perimeter jump shots. And obviously every year you look at their stats and the points they allow and all those kinds of things, and they're very difficult to score against. Some of the low scoring is because there's less possessions in games against those guys, because on offense they grind you on offense with their motion too. They have long possessions and shorten the game in some ways against teams, and just do a very good job of playing possession basketball.
Will you guys try to speed them up at all to try to create some more opportunities to score?
Maybe a little bit. Certainly at times, I think we'll try to get into some open court situations. We might press some. I don't know. We'll just kind of see how it goes. They're a good passing team. We were helped a little bit against Duke when Ryan Kelly went out, and Mason Plum, they had to take the ball out. Made them struggle a little bit with that. But we'll see. It's certainly one of those games that it's hard to score against those guys unless you execute really well in the half court.
Have you and the staff further addressed over the past couple of days, the next avenue to try to get some scoring going?
We just try to do what we do better. I think there are a lot of instances where you're just dealing with young guys and you're dealing with situations where they kind of go back to what it is, especially in pressure. In pressure situations, young players especially revert back to what it is that they're comfortable with. And, for our guys right now, it's they put their heads down too much and feel like they're going to get to the basket. They're going to drive, and they don't see open teammates. They really only kind of see what's in front of them. And when you play good defensive teams, you're not going to get to the basket against bad teams very often, but then you're not going to get the first drop-off pass. You've got to see the second or third pass against really good teams. And, our guys just haven't had that experience very much, and we haven't coached them well enough to get to that point yet. So we've obviously showed them on film, again, some instances of that. We practiced it yesterday extensively to try to get them to understand that, you've got to share the ball, you've got to be unselfish, you've got to drive in ways knowing that you're going to be stopped and looking for other passes, and then when the pass comes, you got to make some shots. And we showed them clips of a lot of good shots against Duke that we just don't make, and shots that you have to make. And then we showed them situations where we didn't make good decisions and we tried to do things too much and took bad one-on-one shots.